Let's go.
This is the Spike Rebel music experience.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.
This is the Spike Rebel music experience. All right. This is the Spike Rebel experience where we show artists with artists. And today we have a fabulous, I don't know if the word fabulous, he's local to global, Khari B. He's in the house. Come on. It's good.
Feeling good. How you feel?
All right. All right, well, explain to the world, even me, because I've met you a few times, but I don't know a whole lot in depth, but you're a spoken word artist?
Yeah, I use the title spoken word musician.
Okay.
Because what I've done with my work is really completely merited to music.
Okay.
And I treat the delivery of the word as another instrument.
So you cover a gamut of topics from
everything,
sensual, healing, pissed off, politics.
All of it.
Really?
Absolutely all of it. I mean, I don't focus on let me be this kind of poet.
Gotcha.
You know,
No
let me be
gates.
this kind of artist. We just want to open it up and allow what comes through to come through.
So you say you're the musician part. Is that kind of fused with the way you put your words
Exactly
together?
that. Like I said, I found a way to make the delivery of the words as another instrument, as another voice within an ensemble, and that's what's worked for me.
So you started solo in grammar school, like at the thing, or
Nah. This was pretty much unexpected. Pretty much way unexpected. I had no interest on being an artist at all. I came up as a visual artist. I was
painting.
Yeah, painting and drawing and sketching and all that, doing some light sculpture work and all of that kind of stuff. And everybody figured that was going to be the way I was going to go. And so, but I knew, just looking at history, artists don't make they don't make it big till they dead. So I was just like
Miles Davis, right? All that, right?
I'm just in the visual, in the visual realm, and so I was just like, I don't want to be broke.
I don't either. That's why I'm doing this show, right? Trying to show people why I'm alive. But
so I went into architectural engineering. I went to school for architectural engineering, and somewhere between going to school for architectural engineering and pursuing, still doing visual art, I got into poetry.
Okay.
I grew up playing alto sax, and the sax got stolen, and poetry soon thereafter followed, and it's taken me where I wanted to go ever since.
So now, I'm just piggybacking off of you. Where has it taken you? Beyond Chicago.
Oh, I mean, we circled the globe, not everywhere, but plenty.
They said weave.
Weave, yeah, because
that's a band.
Again, yeah. Different ensembles in different spaces. But with Ernest Dawkins Chicago 12, who's also an AACM member, we've been to quite a few parts of Italy. I just got back from a French tour, and that was I've been over there numerous times. But we did 7 cities this time. 7 cities in 2 weeks.
What's that like? Are you the main artist, or you compliment?
With Ernest Dawkins' group, I'm another one of the instrumentalists. I'm part of the 12 member ensemble.
Okay.
And then with and we're actually called Live the Spirit Big Band, because sometimes it's 11, sometimes it's 13.
So you would different.
12.
You would, like you said, you would what three different ensembles, or as they come.
It kind of varies. And then the French tour, I went over there on this improvisational. It was an improvisational music tour. So there were 3 French musicians and 3 Americans, and we got down.
Now, what was those musicians? Bass, keyboard, drums, or something totally?
No, yeah. It was there was a saxophonist, a trombonist, a pianist, a drummer, and myself, and a flute player.
Right.
And the flute player did some vocal work. Everybody did a little bit of everything.
Right.
So yeah, it was sweet.
So wow,
Real
French.
sweet.
You speak any other languages?
I speak French when I'm in I speak French when I'm in France. I learned just enough to really get around. because you gotta respect other people's cultures.
Right.
You can't go in there expecting they're gonna do exactly what you're gonna do. So
Right.
out of respect, I try to make sure that I learn whatever the dominant language
Right.
is in a region, at least enough to show that I'm trying.
Right.
Because Americans are basically
Kinda.
the only people that only speak one language.
Okay. Yeah, man.
It speaks to the arrogance of our society, you know.
Well,
so-
speaking of society, where you want to go with how spoken word is, you know, the stereotypes, it's in the local, snap
Yeah.
your fingers versus, it sounds to me like you, I don't even want to put you in a category like Black Ice in Chicago. He's doing certain things on a higher level with marketing. Is that something you're following with all this global Twitter? And,
I don't. I let other artists do what they do,
Okay.
and I do mine.
Okay.
I just found. I hate the stereotypes, of course. You know, all of this, that's Hollywood.
Okay.
You know, that's strictly
Okay.
Hollywood, but it catches on. You
Yeah.
know, that's what people have seen, so they think that's how it really goes. But we
But
don't
the
play
real.
that.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I always say I make poetry a contact sport.
Okay.
So we, you know, we get into the audience. The musicians blaze. Ain't no just real laid back thing all the way.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Is
we
it-
make music. We make music to make people
That's why you're here.
feel something and remember something and inspire them to do something. And that's my niche.
So which, I would say, I don't want to say celebrity musicians, which old school musicians have influenced you the most, alive or deceased?
I guess my three top influences would be Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison of the Doors, and Janis Joplin.
Wow.
That's my three main influences. But I really pull from Miles Davis's work. I
Okay.
really pull from Gil Scott-Heron's work, of course.
Okay.
The Last Poets were definitely a major influence
Right.
on my.
Now, you're
on
not
my
going
spoken
to get
word.
drugged out like you named a
Nah,
couple.
nah.
Now,
All of those, across the board,
They
yeah.
like the coldest
Look,
songs that's timeless. You said Morrison, The Doors. I be listening to that stuff in the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, where they all at? And then, you know, so you.
Yeah, those three, they all passed at 28.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing, and they dropped, you know, like dominoes, one after the other. But to me, as an artist, as a musician, I just look at the past like they done showed you can't beat that thing.
Okay.
No matter how bad you are. Jimmy was the baddest mug in the world. You know, no matter how bad you are, you're not gonna beat those drugs. And I can't mess around.
Right.
I'd rather not.
They've given you a. You
Yeah,
can see it, huh?
they laid it out for me. I'm good.
Right.
I'm all good. Gil, you know, is the closest to me in terms of, you know, the type of work I do and watching how those drugs worked on him.
Yeah.
We just finished. I did a Gil Scott-Heron tribute back in March. And so I did more research on Gil, pulling from his work and all of that, and just watching what a phenomenal and great artist he was to be eaten up by that thing.
Wow. Wow. So do you ever work with dancers, or it's no limit to what?
Nah, there's absolutely no limit. I've worked with dancers, of course, musicians, visual artists.
Who's some of the
singers.
Chicago musicians that's, I guess, hot on the scene? We got so many in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago is one of the best places to grow as an artist.
Okay.
It's not the best place to live as an artist, but we make just relevant, unparalleled artistry, whether it's in the visual realm, the music realm, photography, whatever.
Right.
We make artists. Anywhere we go, we stand out because
That is
of
true.
how it happens here. There's just no business industry here
Right.
to support all of that greatness, which is why cats split.
There you go.
They got to split because the grind is like crazy hard, and I've been determined not to have to, but every day I'm like, it's time to get the hell out of here. I got to go, you know, to be
But
able to
does that help you? I already know the answer, but you going to other places, do you stand out because you're from
absolutely.
Chicago?
Absolutely. I mean, what the old Bible quote, a prophet is never honored in his own home.
Okay.
So there's such a great reception everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In France, I've been on billboards.
Wow.
In Chicago, I've been on pluggers, maybe. You know what I'm saying? If I made them.
Yeah. Will Downey said something like that. He did house music overseas, made millions. Here sold 10 copies.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
crazy.
I went to New York to a DJ party, and the guy was like, "Man, that's a good thing you from Chicago. I could get you in. They like that, you know."
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I was in Amsterdam back in February, and I walk into a record store, and there's they got some magazines on the wall. First thing I see is DJ Sadar from here, and Sadar, one of my favorites. Love that brother. Has the organization Soul in the Hole that he DJs through, and he's on the front of the magazine in Amsterdam.
Right.
You can't dang near find a Sadar party here that's that's gonna be crazy packed and all of that kind of stuff. It's a shame. It's sad, but who cares? We're gonna keep working. I'll go to Amsterdam any day they call. I'll go back any day they call. I'll go to South Africa, wherever.
I got a question.
When they call, I'm going.
Khari B, the disco poet?
Disco poet Khari B. I made it part of the name, not a title. A lot of people think it's a title. But
I don't want to assume for the world he was into disco, but it obviously house music had to be. We Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago.
That's where
I believe in honoring the prophets in our home. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And this music was a huge part of my development.
House music.
Okay. Yeah. House music gave us, particularly those of us who came up in the golden age of house music, it gave us an appreciation for everything else. Because there was some jazz in house music.
That's true.
There was some rock in house music. There was some laid back, acid jazz, all incorporated into house music.
Yeah.
So it gave us a wide appreciation of all music.
Yeah.
That was the very unique
and it's not
thing
violent.
And it's not violent. We went to make love. We was dancing and going all night having a ball. You really wasn't worried about somebody jumping on you because you stepped on their shoe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not to say there's never been a fight at a house party, but house music didn't breed that kind of energy.
Right. So how did that lead to the disco poet? I'm still curious.
Well, when I started, I got outed as a poet. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Because it was something I did very privately that I ain't share with I share with close friends and family now and
There's
again.
quite a few artists like that. They don't.
And one of my good friends, I'm sitting next to him in class. This is in college. Sitting next to him in class, and the teacher comes up to me and he's like, "Well, what you doing for your final performance show?" It was a debate class, and we all had to be a part of this. I said, "I wrote the speech. I'm done.
Right.
Give me my grade. I'm out." And he's like, "No, you got to do something else." I don't do anything else, sir. But I did write the speech. I'm standing on it. And my guy was like, "Yo, he does poetry."
Oh, put you on the spot.
Come on. And the teacher was like, "You want this grade? Let me hear something." And that's how I started doing poetry. So I got up and I read this piece called Minding My Business. I don't have it anymore.
Okay.
It's gone, but I remember that. And I performed it in a similar way that I perform now.
Okay.
It was just very innate with the energy and all that, putting my body behind it. And when I finished, I probably had my eyes closed the whole time.
Everybody's what?
Yeah, folks are standing and clapping. And I was like, that did feel good. I was all right with that.
Yeah.
So I kind of, a friend of mine, Courtney Bell, had always been trying to get me to go to Spices, the legendary poetry house here in Chicago that kicked it off for the rest of the country. And she was always trying to get me there. So I came home for a vacation. And I was like, "Come on, Courtney, let's go. We finally gonna go Tuesday night." So we got over there, and that was the night they had closed. That was it, and their Spices was no more. So I was just like, whatever. And I hooked up with Avery R. Young and Tracy King at our guy Jarvis's house. Two, Avery and Tracy, two more phenomenal spoken word artists. And they took me to the Cotton Club. And I think Malik Youssef was hosting.
Yeah, old Malik.
And
old Malik.
That's how I got on the open mic scene. And it just took off from there. Yeah.
Okay.
It took, After that, I found I loved it.
Spot.
Yeah, I was like, I love this writing. I love sharing it. I get to say what I've always wanted to say to the world and the world actually listens back.
You know, we got quite a few hot poets. I don't say poets. Is that right? Poets, spoken word.
Yeah.
I was saying Malik. What's your other guy? Jay
Ivy.
Jay Ivy.
Yeah.
Who else? Black Ice. He just won something for the Chicago Music Awards. Then you got yourself. Have you got any awards and stuff like that? That's not a.
Yeah, I probably have. I don't, I don't care enough. You know, that ain't why I'm doing it. But I used to get nominated for the Chicago Music Awards every year. I didn't push it. You know, people get on there and vote for me, vote. I'm not interested in that. This word is to change the world, and it's great when I get awards or whatever, but that's not my interest.
Right.
I'm not even paying attention to that. Give me the awards once I've done what I think I can see the change that my words have made that I wanted to see, and then I'll take an award.
So what you have a foundation or something you're doing with the youth? I'm pretty sure you're active with.
Yeah, well, I incorporated the spoken artistry as a business so I could operate properly. You know, we got to be on our business. We got to be part of the business.
That's part of the creative,
business,
right?
You know, the art of business,
right?
Or the business of arts. And later, right after that, I incorporated a not-for-profit organization to be able to work my educational programs through. So a lot of that I did that way back in probably the beginning of 2000, you know, just after the millennium.
So the youth need to meet people like yourself, right? They
I'm looking
artist
for,
development, books,
I'm
publishing.
looking for them. I'm looking for them. Yeah.
Just something from what we're just seeing on TV, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a program going now, and I'll actually be working with adults, and on the West Side and in Inglewood.
Okay.
And at the end, they will have produced their own chapbook. I'm showing how to self-produce their book. We're gonna get the writing done and come out with a book. I've got some phenomenal babies on the West Side elementary school that I can't wait to showcase because they bad.
And you know what? Nobody showcases the youth.
No, and
you don't see it on the news. You don't see it on TV shows. And there's got to be some other little Stevie somewhere. You know what I'm saying with the talent wise.
Yeah.
You know?
We are in Chicago. The next Stevies and the next Ray Charleses and the next Miles and the next Coltrane's, they're here.
Right.
They're not going to necessarily be on
The Voice.
Right. You know, whatever the main media things are, because they're not looking to push that or show
grassroots,
that or expose that.
Right.
We got to have shows like this.
Right.
It's a do for self society right now, and if we ain't doing for self, we got to do what they want us to do, and that ain't worked for us in 500 years. So it's
you got any movies in the making or anything? Well, better yet, most geniuses, I'm calling you geniuses, they do something other than what we. You know, you say you're painting, poetry.
Yeah.
What you mountain climb? There's got to be something else that you like doing. You know. I'm
chairing the Association for the Advancement of Creative Musicians.
Okay.
We're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year.
So what is that exactly? That's all the old school jazz or new guys? What?
We again with the as it relates to Do for Self, this was an organization that came together in '65 because they weren't interested in playing what the media wanted them to play, what the commercial realm wanted them to play.
Okay.
In doing that, they innovated and recreated and evolved the music. The critics always call it jazz, but that ain't what we call it. Okay. We call it great black music because that's what we make. And they completely flipped out the way it's written, the way it's played, how it's presented, and we've been doing it for 50 years now.
So you like preserving that, keeping it alive.
Keeping it alive, and we continue to this day to continue the innovation of it. So I've helped as part of the organization. We've planned out a year worth of events. We've got one coming up April 26th, and we're flying in 50 of our members from around the world.
To play. It's like charters, chapters?
We've got, there's officially 2 chapters, one here in Chicago and one in New York.
Okay.
But members have moved out and are all over the globe. So we're bringing 50 together, unprecedented, and we're going to play at Mander Hall. The event is called Together, a Power Stronger Than Itself.
Right.
So I've been working on that. We've got another event in August where we're going to move in. one of our taglines is ancient to the future.
Ancient to the future.
Ancient to the future. Our music is ancient to the future, so we're going to
Wow.
embrace that. 22-piece ensemble with 3 dance companies. So one to represent our African traditions, one to represent the present day, and then one to represent the future in modern dance, African dance, and break dance.
Wow.
And then I've got
Wow.
a special electronic artist, special guest electronic artist I can't mention right now,
Right.
that's going to play with us, and we're going to kill him.
So, so you know all kind of. It sounds like from the past to now, you're around some cold musicians. I mean,
yeah.
can you name some? I remember talking to you on the side. One of the keyboard players for Miles Davis.
Bobby Irvin III. He was Miles Davis's music director for many years, but he is well respected as a
Orchestrator or
musician,
something?
yeah, a composer, and a painter, as a painter as well. And right now he's working on his memoirs.
Okay.
And he and I put together a tribute to Gil Scott-Heron that we did in March.
Now is that just you and him, or you playing with your other guys?
8-piece band.
Okay.
It was an 8-piece band, and Ernie Adams, Coco Alices, Omura, Sean Wallace. I'm forgetting somebody.
Omar, is that the guitar player?
Yeah.
So,
And but it was bad. Ernest Dawkins was on horn. We
sound like
we
the House of
burned it.
Blues crew. Man.
We've got and that's one of 3 projects I started in 2012 to really get together. So that was the debut of it, and I expect to have it touring before the end of the year.
Okay, well, in short, like when you're traveling, I know you say you do a lot of traveling tours. Do you? What about the health part? Do you just taste everything when you out there in China?
It's man. Look,
you exercise with the thing.
I've been a vegan. I've been a full vegan. I grew up mainly vegetarian, but I've been all the way vegan since 1999, and that's kept me right. You know what I'm saying? As an artist,
Right.
we don't have that luxury of health insurance like other people get. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
my health insurance is eating the right foods, knowing what the right
Preventive
foods are.
maintenance.
Yeah, preventative. Forget all of that. What same way as commercial music is
Right.
is disease based.
Right.
Well, so is
Well,
the
let me
medical
ask you this. So
industry.
this is getting deep. This is getting deep. So it's not so much what tastes good and what feels good or is good for the body.
What's gonna make these cells run at their optimum level?
Right.
What's gonna make this matter move in a way that is sustainable and high energy?
So if you put that to the theory of music, that's deep.
It's the same thing. It's the same. It's all energy.
Feed us candy, you gonna get sick.
Yeah, you will have an ache.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's I'm definitely into the health piece. Stay exercising, moving, and eating the right foods, drinking plenty of water, and that's definitely made me thrive.
Okay. Well, one
And
of
then I am also able to share that information
Yes.
with cats around me.
Yeah. Cats, that's a Chicago term. That in New York.
That you know, so that all my friends, not all my friends, but a lot of, if they get sick, ill, pain, what can I do about such and such? And
Okay.
out of just from experience,
Right.
you can do this.
Can you speak real quick on maybe the vibrations of music today, the digital versus the real, or you fusing both? But
Yeah.
is there a difference?
No, there's a major difference. There's nothing like live music.
Okay.
Nothing like an artist putting his soul into the thing in that moment, because stuff changes at a second.
And you
know
can't
what
do
I'm
that.
saying?
You're saying you can't do that with the.
This track is doing this. This is it. It's
Right.
not gonna move.
Right.
It's right there. You know.
But there's a place for it. But
there's
Yeah.
definitely a place for it. But what is being pushed on our people right now has such a low vibration.
Amen.
It's the difference between eating an orange and eating chitlins.
oh, wow. That's an
So
analogy.
the commercial music industry, the industry standard commercialized music is chitlins.
Okay.
You know, some people love it.
Yeah.
They ride or die for the chitlins. They're gonna put some hot sauce on it and think it's the best thing ever. It tastes good, but
Right.
it goes. You putting intestines in your intestines.
Right.
And,
Wow. That's a whole other show.
It ain't gonna go well. It's not gonna. There's nothing that's gonna do to go well. Not to mention how this government, this country has done farmers and done the farm industry. You know, filling it full of drugs and all kinds of crap. That's killing folks. That's killing them slow. They keep them just alive enough to make that money. Make that money on the treatment.
Wow.
But an orange is an orange. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
if I get an orange that ain't sprayed with all kinds of pesticides and crap, and I eat that mug, that vitamin C is going in.
Gonna hit in.
I'm getting that energy from the sun, and I'm ready to do it, right?
Right.
Can't nobody whip me eating chitlins. Let's just say it like that.
Wow. Well, on that note,
so that's the difference between the commercial music and what real musicians play. We make stuff that is of a higher vibration, that is good for people, and when they get into it, they not gonna be able to describe the feeling and the fullness and how well they have those nutrients from that saxophone, from the keyboards, from that guitar made them feel.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
That's real. That's real talk. Well, the last thing, artists like you got to talk a little bit about branding. Is that something that you're doing too? Like you have a logo or?
Yeah. It's absolutely necessary. Part of the business.
Okay.
I'm on the business end of my art more than I'm on the art, and I hate that.
It kind of takes away a little bit.
Oh, it totally takes away, man. The French tour was the greatest experience for me because I got to go and be an artist.
Right.
I ain't have to invite people to shows. I ain't have to
sell
tweet.
tickets.
I ain't sell no tickets. Right. Every joint was packed.
Wow.
Was sold out to packed somewhere in there, and I didn't have to email and then call my friends. And it could be. All I had to do was show up for the sound check and do my thing. And some new things that had never happened came out. Because I didn't have to worry about the other stuff.
Right.
So it's
a balance.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Got to balance.
One of the most important things is to have your team together. An artist is not an artist
without
by
that
themselves.
Team.
They ain't got no team, then they doing too much.
Right.
And I am so guilty of having to do too much, but you got to find that right team, the people who are going to ride
with the right spirit, like you said.
With the right spirit,
yeah,
and believe in your work enough to share it the way that you would share it yourself.
Okay.
And that's what makes a great artist. So yeah, I got the imagery, I got the pictures, I got the tweets and the Instagrams and the Facebook and blah 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 blah.
Right.
But it takes somebody else who enjoys doing that.
Like
I
you
hate
like
social
doing
media. Yeah, I hate social. I wouldn't be on Facebook if I didn't have to be. I wouldn't tweet one twit if I didn't have to.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to the time when I got somebody who will do that. Who will jump in and make that happen. But yeah, we got to keep the image in front of them. We got to put up our videos. We got to put it, share our music, because commercial industry, they got the vehicle. You jump in your vehicle and they got crap playing from every speaker in your car, right? Right. You go to the record stores and their stuff is the first thing you're going to see, not necessarily ours. So we have to create the platforms and the vehicles of our own so that we can showcase our stuff as hard. Because we got to get this organic food to our people. Otherwise, they sick off chitlins.
Whoa. Y'all heard it? Hey. Khari B, the disco poet, Khari B. Hey man, would you do a couple with us? A couple songs? No, I said with us. Maybe one with me on the guitar.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is what we do, so let's do it.
All right, y'all stay tuned. Khari B, y'all. Global to local. Spoken word artist phenomenal.
This is Legacy of Killing Resistance. Emmett Till was the crispest addicts of the modern-day human rights movement. Another brother killed in the name of European colonialism. His fully suited, disfigured body, simultaneously swollen and crushed, blackened from decomposition and the evil of pink men, laid lifeless in an open casket, opened up life to a movement of people who didn't want no more. Cynthia
Denise, Carol, and Addie Mae, better known as Four Little Girls from Birmingham, were blown to far more than four little pieces by a bomb set by beasts who wanted to see that movement stopped. But the movement kept on moving. Then they shot, dismembered, and dissolved in acid Lumumba. Blasted in the back of Mecca. Assassinated Malcolm, murdered Martin. Exiled Asada, made a mockery of Chisholm. Ambushed Hampton. Co-opted Pop, demonized Wright. Marginalized the movement, and the moment seemed to pass into the past. The past. The past. The past. Orwell once quoted, "He who controls the present controls the past. He who controls the past controls the future." They taught you how to take it, embrace it, how to make it your own. They showed you how not to even see it, how to find comfort in it, how to pass it on. They took the revolutionaries and stripped them naked of their clothes in front of you. Tarred and feathered them, tied each limb to a horse faced in different directions, set them on fire and beat the horses to pull them apart in front of you. Then they took the rest of their comrades and beat them almost to the point of death, breaking your will to resist, placing the breaking process on television, plastering it across billboards, saturated reports of it in the news, shots of shots being shot into Oscar Grant on plain view on YouTube. Used the goodwill of modern day cross-dressing dramatists to sell it to you. Left the women alone and unprotected with their male image destroyed. Moved her to a psychologically frozen independent state. Celebrated in song by Neo, teaching her male children, raising her male children to be physically strong but mentally weak from fear because she has become traumatized. Moved to a psychologically frozen independent state. Celebrated in song by Beyonce. She raises her female children to ape her, unable to get past her earlier conditioning, and raises cognitively disassociative, frozen, independent ladies on a rotating cycle that continues to orbit on its own axis until some phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the slave in you. The alleged Willie Lynch created an orbiting cycle, while colonially defined Negroes started a movement. But cycles continue, movements falter. Cycles revolve, movements change directions. Cycles go, movements stop. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop revolving. Evolving your resistance, even as they evolve measures to stop you. Don't stop.
Don't stop, no.
Don't stop solving these issues of oppression from those who are in so much more fear of you. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop revolving, involving yourself in every action that further frees you. You are not free. The illusion of their power binds you, blinds you to your own nationality, accepting their construct of race, placing the truth in your face, and your unwillingness to accept the responsibility. You are not free. Easier to blame your slavery on the perceived power of the powerless, when all alone, you have always been the answer and the key. Who are you not to be?
Don't stop.
Who are you not to be? Now is the opportunity. There's never been a better chance. At least your ancestors hope that you will be. Fear and ignorance is no longer an option. We are revolutionaries. Disco poetry, y'all. Thank you. Sure. heard they called you a nigga to your face. Wore blackface in your face with attitude like, psh, what you gonna do? We'll watch you run and complain to the same lames that helped maintain the system that originally insulted you and laugh. Straight laughing on the inside at the impotence of your resistance and your obvious lack of pride. Man, ain't nobody scared of you. Nonviolent movements threw more punches than you. And now you want to talk tough. How you'd never be taken as a chattel slave. Save that bull for somebody that doesn't see you drudge away on that plantation that you've made yourself a part of, believing that you're getting paid when they're giving you just enough to live on. Man, there's a lot of hoes that wear the clothes of pimps, but it doesn't get them 1 inch closer to being free. So for me, I'm ready to rebel, wild out, and revolt. Ready to start an insurrection to do more than another false election. Go ahead and call my nonconformity crazy. I'd rather that than shiftless and lazy. Hazy about my lot in life and those who are throwing shade. It is in God's image that we are made. We are not animals, not naturally comfortable being poverty-stricken. Conditions have just been made that way. Stole all the resources out the hood, then wondering why people are doing and selling drugs. Dagnammit, we hungry for food and shelter and a better education. And no, I ain't playing the race card, just looking at things the way they are. And to be real, it's a shame because we are to blame for allowing things to stay that way. Them snakes are gonna do what them snakes are gonna do. Allow a snake into your home and you asking to get bit. And pretty much there's only one way to stop it. Kill that serpent off with his head. Either we all gonna be poisoned or that mug has got to be dead. It ain't no calling the police. Cease and desist that insanity and let go of your own conditioned amorosity. Them pigs are blind in one eye and can't see out the other, especially when it's their own blue brother doing the wildin'. And even those colored patrolmen are confused. Fools used as bullet-written proof that these departments aren't discriminatory, despite story after story of the beatings and lynchings done with the gun. Innocent cats shot in the back when from these crooked cops they run. These black dicks ain't hard. Them soft-serve suckers sold their souls years ago just to wear that shield. So let's keep it real. Say a prayer. If you pray, then stand with me and say, hey, I'm gonna start a riot. 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 Burning crosses on your lawn, nooses from trees, spray painting from your monuments while we sit silently back complaining amongst ourselves while things get worse. Learning to accept the abuse is the fastest way to the hearse. They say pray, pray, pray. Jesus will handle this, but didn't Jesus exist when our people were in bondage? I ain't knocking your beliefs. Believe what you will, but all these beliefs without actions about to get us all killed. Remember now, God helps those who help themselves. So if you silent to the injustice, keep your opinion to yourself. The rest of us will be fighting for this land we call our home. God bless the child that's got his own. Let's get it. I'm gonna start a riot. 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 I'm gonna start, hey, I'm gonna start a riot. 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 I'm gonna start a riot.
Okay, cut. Damn.
Poo, poo, poo. Blow, blow, blow. She is beautiful. Long, straight, draping hair that falls gracefully down her comely back. Charming cheekbones accentuated by the leaden rouge. Long, luxurious lashes that fan away the debris that she calls hate, stuck to her eyes with formaldehyde-inclusive glue. Perfectly pencil-shaped arches above her brow, highlights in her hair, shadows along her nose, redefining shades that the entertainment news automatons call refined. Dark eyeliner to make her gaze more intense. Just a tinge of color in her rinse. She lives in the discomforting comfort that her sparse hairline, worn from years of weaves, pulled back ponytails, and heavy braids, has been normalized, and the rejection of her God-given locks standardized amongst her peers. They've never known their own tresses. Their first perms came at the age of 4, and they all accepted that the poisoning burn as just part of the process. Nobody cares that beneath the thick layers of foundation, dark pockmarks stand, scars from years of chemical-laden, pore-clogging paint. Blemish-removing cream will make them seem as if they aren't even there. It merely makes her complexion a bit fairer, cheating younger eyes out of a real role model, subtly influencing beautiful little brown girls who gaze upon her graven image to be lighter, brighter, whiter. A noxious apparition, a malevolent mirage, a deprecatory delusion, and the real illusion is that she was already beautiful just as she was. You are already beautiful, just as you are. A bit of adornment should only accentuate, not simulate someone else's false ideas of how you should be, not when the best makeup is a strong self-image and an intelligent mind. Disco poetry. Thank you.
So, Disco Poet, man, that was fabulous.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Glad
what
you're doing.
was those pieces about?
Let's see. I think we did the legacy of killing resistance first,
Right.
And I put the lack of resistance that we have to police brutality that's happening rampantly
Man,
across
every day, yes.
not only across this country but around the world. Wherever European colonialism has infected native areas, you've got instances of police brutality and other forms of genocide. So I wanted to talk about that, give it a historical reference, and bring it up to how we are so, I hate to say, but desensitized to it.
Okay.
It's a police murder every day on my news.
Man,
you know what I'm
come on.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the outrage is not there like it should be. And
Yeah,
people
well,
are still, we trying to be
can't-
peaceful.
yeah,
we
I
don't
got
want
you.
we don't want to bother nobody. We just want to, be able to make a living, feed the children, watch a good show every now and again. But
And the next piece, what you got?
and they want to wild out on that. But the next piece, the piece after that was about the response.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I felt
about
that.
starting a riot, and they like to call rebellions riots. And it's a semantic
they're not the
difference.
same, right.
But you want to call it a riot? We're going to call it a riot. And I'm going to start that riot. We're going to start that riot. But it's really a rebellion against all of the oppression and injustice that we encounter every day. So that was that joint. Also putting some historical context to it. Brought out of the Detroit. I originally wrote a piece around the Detroit riots back in the 60s. So what's the brother's name? Gregory Porter wrote the joint recently about there's a fire in. Dang, why can't I remember it? Anyway, I when he wrote that and I heard it for the first time, it kind of sparked some things up for me through what I was doing with my students at the university. And then the last piece was Ugly Beauty for the Brown Girl.
Okay,
just talking about how they put these false images on our young women that are unachievable even to them that are putting the images out. And we try to, we've got too many of us assimilating and trying to be something that we aren't.
Okay.
Failing to see the profound beauty within ourselves.
Wow. Well, that goes a lot with this piece that I was drawing while you were getting ready. And it's basically my concept of a beautiful woman is full of substance, colors, all of that, and images on top of images. I actually painted on the glass. So, again, this is the show where we do artists with artists. And, again, the disco poet. We was doing some house music, right? You don't even know we was jacking it up back here. Where can we find you, man?
What I've got going on? Again, I'm chairing the Association for the Advancement of Creative Musicians. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary through 2015, and we've got a whole year of like really great events that's happening together.
Now, is that on the internet?
Yeah, they can find us at www.aacmchicago.org. www.aacmchicago.org.
And if
so
somebody
they can
wants
find
to,
all the information about that. To get to me, I'm at my site. My personal site is, or my personal business site,
Right.
is www.disco-poetry.com. Disco-poetry.com, and I'm actually about to take it down and put it back up and do some newer things with that. And
So we may see you across the city, but you, for the most part, you heading out to where, Italy or something? You said?
I'll be in Germany in October, not till October, and that's with
coming up soon.
AACM.
Okay.
I'll likely be doing some stuff in New York over the summer, and yeah, you just, you know, I'm accessible. Put in
All
disco
right.
poetry or disco poet, and
it pops up.
I will pop up.
All right.
Or Khari B, Khari, Khari B, and that's me.
Signing off.
Let's go.
This is the Spike Rebel Experience.